So we continue with the trying new things month, and today I tried something new. Although when I say new, I mean more like trying something I hadn't done in a long time. And that was hockey. The place that I work at has, on Tuesdays, there's a group of people who go and play hockey at the local sports centre. And I thought to myself, that seems like something good to try, because I've tried going swimming as a form of exercise. Because of course, sitting down all day in an office, you don't get much exercise. So I decided to take up swimming, and I found that kind of boring. But hockey is a bit more interesting, because you get to socialise with some people at the same time, and it's more of a sort of team thing. Unfortunately, what it showed me was just how unhealthy I am. I really couldn't go very long before I was suddenly out of breath. So I kind of ended up in goal a fair bit. But I don't think I did too badly for my first go. I mean, I haven't played hockey in like, oh God, I don't know, 17, 18, maybe longer. Yeah, like 18 years or something like that. Not since I was at school. So it was a good... It was a good thing to try, good new thing to try, and hopefully I'll keep at it, because like I say, it is a good form of exercise, and I certainly need the exercise after that. So yeah, that was good. That was a new thing to try. But as I said in my last video, one thing I want to try is, or at least this week I've been trying to watch some new TV shows. At least that was the intention, because what I actually ended up doing was revisiting some old films. Well, I say old films. I was revisiting the Hobbit films and the Lord of the Rings films, which, yeah, that's not new. I got back into, I was really into those a few years back. So it was more like reintroducing myself into something, and also watching the Battle of the Five Armies Extended Edition, which I had not seen before. So that was new footage. Which I'm so glad I watched, and I can't believe it took me so long to watch it, because it was the extra stuff they added in. It didn't drag. It was just so much fun. It's like, why couldn't you have kept that in the original theatrical version? God damn it. Anyway, I did manage to watch a couple of new shows. And when I say new, I mean new to me. So I had never seen any episodes prior to watching them. And the first one I tried was Gotham. I wasn't sure why I tried this one, because I'm not a big fan of DC or anything. But I decided to watch it because, weirdly, at New Year's, while I was around a friend's place, they played a music video of Gotham. And it was actually really well put together. And whilst watching it, I sort of thought, well, okay, that doesn't look too bad. I might give it a go, just something new to watch. I've only gotten 2 episodes in, so that's not very far at all, seeing how there's about 4 seasons with 22 episodes each season. So that's not very far. But my first impressions are, of course, Gotham is a very corrupt place. The police are very corrupt. And you've got Jim Gordon, young Jim Gordon, who's trying to stay on the straight and narrow, whilst also trying to seem like he's in on everything, because he had to have a test at the end of the first episode. They give him a test to see if he's on the level, on their level, and he convinces them, even though he kind of faked it. I won't spoil it anyway. So that was interesting. So they've got that going on. And obviously you encounter a lot of the well-known DC villains, but you sort of have to, well, no, it's quite obvious which ones even if you don't know their names. Catwoman, you can sort of see this young cat burglar who's very athletic, and then you've got someone who waddles around, that's obviously Penguin. So they've introduced a few already, and they've also introduced a scientist who I believe is going to be the Riddler. And of course we've seen Batman. So we get a very young Batman. So you get the idea that because he's so young, it's unlikely we're going to see him as Batman. So I'm not sure what part he's going to play. And if it's like a detective drama only with DC villains, I'm not really sure what part he's going to play in it so young. Because he's only like, 10, 11? But he's obviously being looked after by his butler. And when Alfred came, because of course they got an Alfred, when he came onto screen, the first thing I could think was, geez, Sean Pertwee sure looks like his dad, doesn't he? It was seriously, all you needed was a bit of more puffy hair and he would look just like John Pertwee. Because, well, obviously, it's his son. So that was kind of weird. And they're playing Alfred a lot more because Alfred's usually the polite butler who just sort of knows all of Batman's stuff. He knows all of everything. He's in on all the secrets. He's sometimes sort of ahead of him when it comes to what he needs. But this one's a lot more, he's got a thick London accent. He's a lot rougher, he's like the butler you don't want to piss off sort of thing, which again will be interesting to see how that sort of plays into it. It's a different take on the character for sure. But like I said, I've only gone 2 episodes into it, and it seems like very much, people who've got their own territory, and it's territorial disputes, and it's like, you've got a hint of other organisations and gang members who are going to play a part. They have one whose name I completely forget right now, played by Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't know. I don't think if she is any well-known DC villain, it's not one that I know. So I'm not sure what part she plays in it yet, but she's obviously got a, ambitious crime mistress. So yeah, I don't know if it's the type of show I'm going to really get into, but I'm hoping. I mean, I have a friend who said that she really liked it. My friend Sel said she really liked it, and my boyfriend wasn't that impressed with the first series, and I've been told the second series is where it gets better. So, but because they're quite long seasons, I'm not sure how far I'm going to want to go with it, but I'm willing to give it I want to give shows a good go, I don't like sort of watching just a couple of episodes and then giving up. I like to think that some shows really do take a few episodes to get into, sometimes a whole season, which I never quite get. But yeah, so I'll give it a bit more of a go. The other thing I decided to watch was Peaky Blinders. I'm not sure why, because I actually knew nothing about this. I watched the first episode and was like, wow, that's not what I thought it was about. But then I sort of thought, I don't actually know what this show's about. I know it's a period piece, so I knew it was set in the past. That's all I really knew. I really genuinely didn't really know much about it, but I've heard a lot of people say it was good. It's still on TV and people, watch it, obviously, every week. So I was kind of sort of intrigued what it was even about, and it's on Netflix, so I thought, why not? I'll give it a go. I didn't catch on first of all that it's set in Birmingham, so you got a lot of Birmingham accents, which I'm not going to try any more of. But the problem is, I think the first episode I got so distracted by the accents, because first I was trying to work out what accent it is, because I am terrible at recognising accents, even English ones. I'm terrible. So you've got all these Brummies, and then you've got, what's his name? Then you've got Sam Neill playing an Irishman. It's not bad accent, but then I'm not the best one to judge accents. But it was distracting. Because I know that's not his real accent, it was really distracting. So every time he had a scene, I was too distracted by the fact of, yeah, that's really not how you're supposed to sound. And it really is quite distracting, at least for the first episode, not so much in the second one, because I've only seen 2 episodes. But of course, they're a lot shorter seasons, they're only 6. What's less distracting? Well, I say less distracting. Cillian Murphy plays the main character, and his accent is more convincing. Like, if I didn't know he was from Southern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, I wouldn't have known that he was not a Brummie, so his accent's pretty good. And then you've got another woman who's actually English playing an Irish woman, Southern Republic of Ireland. And I'm just there going, is anyone actually using their real accents? And like I said, it's only distracting because I know that they're all putting on the accents. That's why it was distracting when I watched the first episode. But like I said, I didn't realise that it was about I say gangsters, sort of like people who, they protect a certain part of the city, and everybody sort of respects them, and they're sort of the mafia, I guess. Only I don't think they're supposed to be shown as too bad. You're supposed to be at least sympathetic to some of it, and they're sort of honourable, I suppose, honourable among thieves, I guess. But one of their members, which is Cillian Murphy, is sort of shaking it up a little bit and trying to, I suppose, raise their profile and everything. And then you've got all of the stories going on, because of course it's set in 1919, so just after the war. So there's all this stuff about some of them fought in the war, some didn't. There's communists going on. One of the family members, because it's all the Shelby family, one of them's got pregnant by some guy who's not part of the family. And yeah, I'm not sure if it's quite the type of show because I had no idea what it was about, I had no expectations, but I also couldn't judge whether I thought it would be the kind of show I would enjoy. So I'm not sure, but because it is so short, 6 episodes per season, I'm kind of willing to give it a fair go, to watch the first series at least. But I'm getting the feeling that I might, unless it sort of gets more intriguing or something else comes about, I might not watch too much more of it. Anyway, I have to go because I've just got a message and I believe that is some really good news, which I might talk about next week. Anyway, bye!